Big 12. The Big 12, obviously, a lot of their talent's going to be coming from Oklahoma. They got a very impressive squad. But there's one other school that's actually got some impressive talent. I can't wait to get into it. These are my top 10 prospects coming out of the Big 12 to obviously start the college football season. So these are guys to keep your eyes on. So if you haven't checked out, I got a full 300 prospect big board already out on the channel. It should be. It better be. What are you doing? Get your stuff together. I know that's going to be a long recording, Broshmo, but you got to get with it. You got to get with it. Hopefully it's already out. I know it's a big project. There's a lot of Photoshop involved. Show it some love. Give it a like. Give this video a like while you're at it. Matter of fact, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Like I already mentioned, leave that thumbs up if you appreciate the content, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's go ahead. Let's get into the nitty-gritty when it comes to this list, and we're going to start with my top overall prospect in this draft class in Spencer Rattler. The guy, his arm talent's immense. That's the thing, dude. The way he operates out of structure and his want to make a big play on every throw, it's very Patrick Mahomes-esque. That ain't a comp. I'm just showing you some similarities to the play-in mentality. So, Kamate. I know they got similar hairstyles too, I guess, but it is what it is. The thing is, this guy, he wants to make the big play so often, he doesn't check the ball down well. Now, he came off a real big hot streak to end the year. I think he continues that going into next year. I think we're going to see a lot more consistent play from him. Spencer Rattler, I don't think there's anyone in this class that matches his arm talent, to be quite honest. And then my only other first round prospect among the Big 12 prospects is Nick Benito, man. And for me, man, he's kind of fringe just because he's so, what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like he's scheme dependent. He's a guy that I don't think can, like, he's at, 238, 6'3". I don't think he can fill out that frame. I think maybe he gets to like a 245, maybe. But it doesn't mean he can't succeed. I mean, we've seen guys like Yannick Ngakoue really succeed at that size. We've seen the Vikings Hunter succeed at that size. And he's kind of similar in terms of like his pass rush moves. It's all finesse. There's not a lot of power to his game, but I really do think he's scheme dependent. He's role dependent when it comes to the NFL. That's why I really have a hard time projecting where he might go. That's why I kind of have him at the back end of the first round, just because, again, I think it's going to be a team that either really wants like a 3-4 type of linebacker or a stand-up type of hybrid pass rusher, or maybe they utilize a lot of wide 9, or at least at one end of the spectrum. So I think he's that type of pass rusher. But what you're getting is a guy that last year was elite, 28.6 pressure rate, or win rate, excuse me, and then a 25.7 pressure rate. The dude was good. If he can somehow get up to like that 250, 255, I'll be shocked. But yeah, he's a very interesting prospect that showcases a ton of upside. And then number 3, I got Iowa State's Breece Hall. I really thought if you were to ask me this a year ago, it would have been Brock Purdy. Spoiler alert, he doesn't actually make my top 10, but I still believe in Brock Purdy. But let's talk about Breece Hall. He's the top running back in this class currently for me. He's kind of this ideal bell cow that now we're in an NFL that doesn't really have bell cow type of running backs. Excuse me while I clear out my nasal passages. But the guy's got great balance, good explosiveness. He can cut on a dime. I like that. I like his ability to just cut up field and go. He plays behind a very poor run blocking offensive line there at Iowa State. Quite often he's hit behind the line of scrimmage. But I like this. When he's been given nothing, he creates something. That's kind of special to me. He's currently, I think, 42 on my big board, which is actually pretty high for a running back. You also got to consider when it comes to like how I value the running back position. I don't value it a ton. and hardly you'll ever see me give a running back a first-round grade. But Breece Hall, he comes pretty darn close. It's just there's really no passing upside to him. I don't think he's a guy that can be using the passing game a lot unless it's very simplistic, like swings and screens. He does have a bit of drops in the passing game. So, but regardless, very good running back in this class. At number 4, I got Parry Winfrey out of Oklahoma. Look at that. They dominate 3 of the top 4 spots here. This cat is really good. Question is, can he play the run? That's kind of an unknown right now. He's also got to deal with Jalen Redmond coming back after he opted out last year. So how does he fit in this defense? Because it's a scary defensive line there. I think he fits quite well, man. The guy on the interior, I don't think, it's weird. They say he weighs 297. I don't know if he weighs 297. Doesn't look like that. Just the way he moves, his twitch. Like a guy, there's on the interior, a guy this twitchy just feels like doesn't exist. And I know a lot of people will be like, you didn't even register a sack last year. What pass rushing upside are you talking about? Well, 27 pressures. That's what I'm talking about, man. So the question is, can he stay on the field for to play the run? It's just Oklahoma, they don't give him that chance. They didn't have him play the run often. So it's intriguing. I got a day 2 grade on him, but I'm a big fan. Big fan. Number 5, Noah Daniels. Noah Daniels, because I'm recording this the day my cornerback rankings came out. Noah Daniels was mentioned in the comments like, yo, where is this cat? And I love Noah Daniels, man. This guy has first-round corner potential. The thing is with him, he's had 3 big time, or at least 3 big injuries since coming to TCU, unfortunately. Because the dude's got the size, the explosiveness, the length. It's just, man, like, he can never play a full season. He's never have. But when he's been on the field, he's literally been shut down, dude. He shut Ohio State down in 2018. He's allowed a completion percentage of 42.9% throughout his career. The guy runs the 100 meter for the track team. He's got track speed. Can you stay on the field? He needs to show he can be healthy, can remain healthy, and stay on the field this season. I heard a lot of his workouts this year was tailor-made, was essentially to make him more sturdy, more less susceptible to those injuries. So he's trying to get that durability, that longevity, so to speak. So this is a guy with all the talent in the world. Unfortunately, we just need to see like a clean bill. We need health. Health is probably the greatest trait you can have. Health and reliability in the NFL, and that's just something he doesn't have. If you can't stay healthy, then you're not reliable, unfortunately. At 6, Demarvion Overshown out of Texas. He's actually apparently put on weight. He's probably closer to 230. I think he's like 224 at this point, from what I heard. But he's my type of linebacker. He's got great length. He's very fast. He's going to be a great coverage linebacker. He's already displayed that. He's dipped into the slot at times. And the dude's been a very willing participant in the run game. He had 29 defensive stops last season. It's just he was one of the worst tacklers. If that's something he could get better at, he can prove he could be just wrap up better and cut down that hopefully missed tackle rate to like half, because the dude was 24.1%. If he could get to that to like 15%, I'm blown away. I'm impressed. But this cat, he doesn't allow. You're not going to beat him in coverage. He only allowed 6. There was only 6 times throughout his career he has allowed over 50 yards in coverage. He's never allowed over 100 yards in coverage. The guy's probably going to be one of the best coverage linebackers in this class. The thing is, you might not be impressed. He's like, wow, 6 games of 50 plus. You got to also keep in mind this guy was one of the most targeted linebackers in all of college football the last couple of seasons. The dude's good. And then at number 7, I got my second running back, Kennedy Brooks. Yo, I'm a sucker for Kennedy Brooks. He is one of my favorite running backs in this class. He opted out last year. I think he comes in this year and he shows out. I think he can challenge for one of the top, to be the top running back in this class. At least maybe the number 2. Like, people forget how good he was. 88 forced missed tackles on 274 carries, and that was between the years of 2018 and 2019. That was on par with Najee Harris. That was better than Javonte Williams. Like, you got to keep in mind, like, how good this guy has been for Oklahoma. So I'm a big fan. I can't wait to see more. Let's go ahead and see more. And then my final Oklahoma prospect. Yeah, that's right. We got 5 Oklahoma prospects in this list. It's Isaiah Thomas, another defensive lineman. This cat, very versatile. I think he can kick inside at times too, because Oklahoma, they have that weird front, that 3 front. So sometimes he's playing that 3 tech, 5 tech role. That's 6'5", 267. The guy, he can win in a variety of different ways. He's got this nice blend of power, and just the guy has a good bend, good flexibility. That's the word I'm really looking for. I really want to see him, because he's been good in the run game, but he hasn't been, I don't know if good, average in the run game. It's just he kind of gets taken out of the play. Like, he locks on, but I want to see him do better at disengaging, see him do better at using hand counters, I guess, just to kind of get off these blocks in the run game. I especially with a frame like his, I think he can do that. With length like his, I think he can do that. But again, in the run game, kind of a nitpick. If you bring it as a pass rusher, that excites me, and he does that. Number 9, Travius Hodges Tomlinson. A lot of people, this was another guy when my corner rankings came out, were like, where is this cat? He's been so good. I agree. But he kind of falls into that Ardarius Washington. We saw what happened to Washington's stock, and he just had a so-so year. After a banger 2019, he had a so-so 2020, ended up being an undrafted free agent. Did he deserve to be? No. I ended up having a midday 2 grade on him. I think good guy ends up going undrafted. It's wild. It's just unfortunate. Like, that's just what happens with guys with this type of size. He's 5'9", 177. He's primarily played on the outside. He only took 6 snaps in the slot in 2020, but a lot of NFL teams are going to look at his size and be like, yeah, he's only a slot. Like, this guy, he mirrors guys relatively easy. He's actually been very good at the catch point, 214, pass breakups. Doesn't necessarily have the long speed. He's really more of a short area type of guy. He's got good stop and start ability, which I'm telling you, all that pegs him as a slot guy at the NFL level. Excuse me. I don't think he's going to have the down year that Washington had, and that's the weird thing. Washington's down year wasn't a bad year by any means. That's the thing. So even if THT slips just a little bit, I think he's just going to be stuck in what the NFL thinks he can do, unfortunately. I don't know. Maybe he proves them wrong, and they think this cat can be like Jair Alexander. But again, those guys are few and far between, so he's going to have to really display something real special. And then number 10, I got another TCU prospect, O'Shane Mathis. I'm actually a big fan of O'Shane Mathis. The thing is, with what he's asked to do at TCU, I kind of have no idea what his get-off truly looks like, or at least consistently, because he's often in a stand-up, like, pass rush linebacker type of mode, but he's almost, they preach run contain all the time there. So there's very few snaps where we actually see him get to just go after it. But this guy is very athletic, very agile type of pass rusher. He's displayed really good bend, and we saw that last year where he took a jump. Like, he kind of broke out last season, and I expect, like, especially if they take the leash off and they're like, go after it, go get it, he can take another huge jump. Like, this edge class, it's kind of special, especially when you were looking at these, like, 3rd round, 4th round prospects. they could have some special seasons, man. They can. They really, really can. I mean, just in 2020, he had less snaps than he did in 2019, but he had more pressures, 7 more sacks. Like, watch out, man. 6'5", 247, but he could fill out that frame real easy. But that's it for the video. Go ahead. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And, of course, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.